we're just refusing service. We don't have to have a reason.
I think you should have a reason for kicking us out of the store. We're just shopping here. What is your reason?
To be completely honest with you, I don't have to have a reason. I'm just letting you guys know.
So are you going to kick everyone else out of the store too?
It's funny.
If we have the right to refuse service to anybody, so I'm having the right to refuse service to you guys. I don't have to have a reason.
Up with you ignorant and racially profiling her in stores. Because why did I just repost a video of an H&M worker kicking out 2 black girls after accusing them of being in there before and stealing?
So these little ghetto birds get kicked out of H&M, and guess who's mad? I told y'all, ladies and gentlemen, we were gonna do it big for the first time in history. I don't think nobody's ever done this. We already got tons of businesses on board. We got tons of people that wanted to support. Their names are going to be on the car. You name it. For more information, you can go in the description section and find out about that. But right now, I want to shout out 2 of our many sponsors that we're going to have that sponsor this race. First, I want to talk about Kerr Ammo, ammunition for freedom-loving Americans, family-owned company in my hometown of Fort Worth, Texas. If you order before 2 anytime, it'll be shipped the same day. Order right now, use code TATUM, and you'll get $10 off of your order of $199 or more, and that's including free shipping. The link will be in the description section. Our next sponsor is LiveRx. LiveRx is coaching in your corner. Losing weight and improving your health doesn't have to feel impossible. They have 24/7 live doctor support for customer care plans starting at $250. No fee, no membership, no insurance needed, just results. Click the link below or go to the website liverx.md. Use code TATUM. Ladies and gentlemen, see y'all at Talladega. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what really happened here. There's a very, very small video. I'm going to show it to you here in a second. 2 things I find wrong here. First of all, I see this happen so often. And this is why I teach my oldest son, and when my youngest son get old enough to receive this information, this is what I will teach him. That's why it's invaluable for you to be honest. Honesty is not just for the person that you're being honest to. Honesty is also for the individual who, in fact, should be honest. So if you're lying to people, it don't only hurt your relationship with that person, you're lying to them and you. So being a disingenuous person doesn't help anybody. Because at the end of the day, you have to live with the fact that you're a lying person and that the situation didn't occur the way you said it did because you lied. Now, when it comes to this H&M situation, somebody need training, because this woman could have probably made her statement and her claim be known and not be considered a racist all across the world if she had a little bit of common sense. Let me just give you a scenario of what I'm saying. You're going to see this video in a second. Matter of fact, let me play it now so you can watch it and you understand what I'm saying. Roll the clip.
Can we talk to him?
You guys are more welcome to, but please just stay right here. They were talking now.
We're gonna go ahead and just refuse service. There's no reason. That's what we're gonna go ahead and do today. I will go ahead and I'll take that. If you guys could go ahead and please leave the store, we'd really appreciate it.
Wait, so why do you have to leave the store?
Because we're just refusing service. We don't have to have a reason.
I think you should have a reason for kicking us out of the store. We're just shopping here. What is your reason?
To be completely honest with you, I don't have to have a reason. I'm just letting you guys know.
So are you going to kick everyone else out of the store
It's
too?
funny.
If we have the right to refuse service to anybody, so I'm having the right to refuse service to you guys. I don't have to have a reason. So that is my reason. So I'm just asking you guys to please leave the store today.
It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It's really happening.
So you've seen us steal before? Is that what you're saying?
Nobody said that at all.
That's what he said. That we're repeat shoplifters here.
We've seen you in here before. I didn't say
I have not been here.
I haven't been here in, I
don't even know the last time.
To be honest with you guys, we've seen you in here plenty of times before.
Us too.
Yeah, we've seen people.
Do you have
here.
like a picture? Because it's not us.
I don't need to show you guys. I'm refusing service to you guys today. I've asked you guys to please leave the store. I don't need you guys to get violent or anything like that.
Violent?
You guys are.
Let's go. Let's go.
If you guys hold on. If you guys want, I'll talk to you guys outside.
How are we getting violent?
Violent. It's crazy. I can't believe this is actually.
Okay, so now what I'm going to say is going to be made sense within context. Somebody should train this lady who's the manager or whoever she is, a part of this company, to be able to articulate very clearly why you are making decisions that you're making. unless you want to be deemed a racist. Now, just based on the circumstances that I see, I don't think that this is a racist encounter, right? People are nine times out of 10, people don't do stuff because of race, because they're terrified of being completely, the business can be completely shut down and getting sued and being death threats on their life. But this person probably, because she alluded to it a little bit in the video, that she saw them in there before and she don't want to serve them anymore because of whatever reason that they're doing. In many states, you don't have to give a reason why you refuse service on people. You don't. But the smart thing to do, if you got any common sense left, is for you to clearly articulate to a person why you don't want to serve them anymore. I think it's reasonable to do that. You don't, even though you don't have to, but you need to be looking at your own business well-being. Because these young girls, whom I think are just being disingenuous, they know what's going on. If you listen to the way they respond to the lady, they know they done something. They know that things are happening that shouldn't be happening. It's not a surprise to them. That's why they're reacting the way they are. But when you talk about the lady that's talking to them, ma'am, why don't you give a reason? It will suffice us all. She could have clearly said, because I've seen you guys in here before, you guys were stealing. I don't even want to have to worry about it. I shouldn't have to follow you around the store. I should have to guess whether or not today is the day you're going to steal. I don't like the way you guys are behaving in my store. We're refusing service. Give my stuff back and get out of my store. The end. But when you start going, I don't have to say. Yeah, you don't have to say. But then when you don't say, you leave open interpretation for everybody out here to create their own understanding of what you just did. Do I think that these girls were unfairly treated? I have no evidence to believe that. The clip is very short. The security guard clearly didn't have an issue with it and articulated very clearly to them that they weren't welcome back. A reasonable person will say, oh, I'm not welcome back. Okay, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to argue with you or nothing. I have nothing to say to you. And then I'm going to go to a lawyer because you've just discriminated against me with no evidence whatsoever. I can almost guarantee you that, and maybe I'm wrong, but in many cases, I would almost guarantee that they're not going to pursue anything legitimate. They're going to do a social media hit, but they're not going to pursue anything legitimate. Because if they had camera footage of them girls stealing or doing something shady, they're done for.
Those two girls that got kicked out of H&M for no good reason, because that's what the manager said, no reason. Their parents raised them well, because the moment that lady said, I don't need you getting violent, that's when violence would have ensued. My emotions would have came over. Now, what they should have did when they walked out was knock down all those raggedy clothes that H&M sells, and that would have been fine. But you know what? They were raised well, and I like how they handled it. But also, those girls never stole before. And you know how I know? I worked in retail for 10 years. If they stole before, the lead security would have came out, apprehended them, and showed them recordings and pictures of them stealing. But guess what? They didn't have that because they never stole. So why in 2025 would you feel comfortable enough to throw some girls out of your store that were never a threat, a harm, anything like that? That's crazy. And then I bet she didn't think she was going to go viral, dummy. But I can't wait till they get their lawsuit money. It's about to be real up for them. Whole life is about to be set. Not gonna hold you.
What's up with you ignorant racially profiling in stores? Because why did I just repost a video of an H&M worker kicking out two black girls after accusing them of being in there before and stealing? Mind you, they both said they had not been there in a long period of time. They both asked for pictures, both asked for evidence. Like, and the whole time, girls like, oh, I'm just refusing service. I'm just refusing service. I'm just refusing service. Not giving no explanation on why for real. Has a whole ass police officer standing there and then tries to tells the police officer, I don't want them trying to get violent. Mind you, these girls ain't even violent, ain't raising their voices like that for real. They're just genuinely confused. As they should be. The girl talking, she got a whole essential hoodie on, and she has her braids done. What makes you think that she about to go up in H&M, baby, and steal? Having two pieces of merchandise in their hands. And then when old girl's like, you accused us of being in here before and stealing before, she's like, no, I didn't say that. That's quite literally what she said. She was like, we've seen you in here multiple times before. Da, 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 da. Sound like H&M want to be just like Target.
Oh, Bookie Butt. You may not have a job at the end of this video. Imagine losing your job in this recession. Okay, it doesn't even matter because H&M replied, Now, H&M posted this comment and pinned it like that was an official statement, but whatever. They say, we take the incident from February of last year at our Albuquerque store very seriously. Following the incident, we immediately acted according to our strict guidelines. The employee in question is no longer employed by H&M, and we extend a sincere apology to the affected customers. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this incident is recent or from last year, but according to H&M, this happened February of last year. But even in the caption, the girls say, me and my sister getting profiled and kicked out of H&M and accused of stealing before. Now, the two young ladies also posted this and said, thank you guys so much for all your support. We want to answer everyone's questions, but at this time, our attorney advised us to not comment. Now, I don't know when this actually occurred because H&M's statement is kind of confusing.
Now, let's just put this in perspective. Maybe they're wrong, and these weren't the same girls that was stealing and thugging or whatever was happening. And the lady at H&M were wrong. I still would maintain this. They have a right to tell you to leave. And I don't think it's because they're black alone, which means that they only did it because they're black. That means that they have no evidence that they're responsible for doing anything nefarious in the store. And I'd say even if the last two people they thought they were the people that they had engaged with before. It's not because they're black. It's because somebody that matched the description was doing X. And I'll say this, people will say, oh, you always making it. It's because I know how this stuff works, man. I've seen this so often. I know when people are lying, and I know when these business owners get to doing stuff and they ain't been trained to articulate themselves clearly and they look like idiots. Cops do it all the time. A cop knows that they have the right to arrest you for certain things, but because they have not been challenged or because nobody have pushed them to be able to clearly articulate themselves, when they get under pressure, they start stuttering and stumbling over their words and they don't know what to say. Like this lady, I think she wanted to, and I'm saying this, I'm just keeping it real. She wanted to kind of be dismissive and say, you can leave, I don't have to argue with you. But once the girl started talking, she felt compelled to talk. And in her compelling to give, the spirit of being compelled to give speech, she now started talking out her neck and her mouth at the same time. If you're gonna say, I don't need to explain to you, get out of my store, just walk away. Because when you say, I don't need to explain to you, but you've already explained to somebody else, but then you halfway explain to them, but then say you don't have to explain, now you look like a fool. Now, I'm open to say this. If somehow they were racially discriminated against in H&M, which I don't think happened, but if it did happen, I will make an apology video saying I apologize to them young girls and I was wrong. I will make a video like that if it comes out that there's evidence that they were actually targeted because they were black. I will come out and make a video. And if they had a GoFundMe, I'll donate $100 to their GoFundMe. That's what I would do. But right as it stands, in the totality of circumstance and things that I know, them little girls was in there cutting up. They got caught and they wanted to argue with the lady. She knew that they were doing stuff they weren't supposed to do, but she tried to avoid it at first. But then she got wrapped into now speaking on it, but then she didn't want to fully speak on it. In my opinion, that's what happened. Comment in the comment section. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, you think I'm right. See you on the next one. Bye.